Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the fifth layout using the January hip kit. This layout took me 55 minutes to complete and most of it is from the January kit, but I had a couple of pattern papers that were left over last month. I barely had anything, but I had that full sheet of Amy Tangerine pattern paper, which I absolutely love, and I knew that I wanted to use it as a full sheet. And then in the embellishment add-on or the color add-on, I can never remember, we got this 6x6 pattern paper pad from Dear Lizzie Serendipity, and I wanted to use it on this layout. Just a bunch of pinks and a little bit of gray, and so I just thought it'd be the perfect pattern paper to put it on. So I took an ink pad that we got a couple months ago, probably November, I think. And it was the dark gray ink from My Favorite Things. So I just put it on some packaging, added some water, and added a few splotches because like I said, I want to make this layout gray and pink. And now I'm going to mat the photos. I just went through the 6x6 pattern paper and I just ripped out a bunch of pattern papers that were in those colors. And at this point, I have really no idea what I want to do. I just know that I want to use a bunch of pattern papers. And usually when I, want to use more than one pattern paper, what I like to do is to cut it up in strips. Whether I do strips that cover the whole background or just strips that cover partial of the background, but I just like to make strips. And at first I thought, well, maybe I'll layer the 6x, like in its full form, in 6x6, and I'm kind of fooling around with that and trying to see if maybe I had the Amy Tangerine Stitch pattern paper from last month. There was these beautiful flowers that you could cut out, and I still have a couple of those, and I thought, well, maybe I can put it on this layout, but I decided that I wanted to use the die cuts that came in the Heidi Swap embellishment kit, and there was a ton of, I think there was 102 or something like that. Now, I don't know if I forgot to turn some of my lights on. It looks like it's darker than usual. I have 4 lights that I turn on, and 2 of them are on remote control. And usually that's the first thing I do is turn them on, but it just seems a little dark. So I don't know if it's because it's nighttime, or I usually try and scrap during the day because I find that by nighttime, I know some people are night owls and some people are early birds. I'm a midday kind of person. I don't even know if that really exists, but I'm totally midday, like mid-morning. I am no longer, I used to be an early riser. Now I hate getting up early with having to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Now if I can sleep in till 9 or 10, I love that. But I don't like to stay up late either. I can't, like, after a certain time, like my brain just shuts down. So, but maybe that was like 9ish or 10ish at night just before I went to bed. So maybe that's why the lighting is not that great. So what I decided to do was just cut down these pattern papers and just make a midsection of all those pattern papers. And this is a picture of my daughter. This week, she decided that she was going to color her hair red. And so anyway, she sent me a few pictures, and at first I was like, oh my goodness, that is so red. But I think she just, with the lighting and stuff, but she sent me some other pictures, and it looks pretty good. And so I'm going to do another layout actually today with the other pictures that she sent me, and it actually suits her pretty good. So so the title of this layout, I used some of the thickers that came in last month's kit, and it says the layout is going to say must shine. And so that's going to be the title for this layout. And yeah, it must have been night or something. I forgot to turn the light on because this is a different sort of session and the lighting seems to be a little bit better. So I had glued the pattern papers down before I turned the camera on because that's kind of boring anyway. So, and I went in my stash and got some ribbons, and those are from Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to add them to the top and the bottom just to kind of hide where the paper ends. And so it's just going to kind of finish off the layout. And her hair is red, but it looks kind of pinkish in the photo. So, and I like pink and red together anyway. So I'm going to focus on the two colors of gray and pink. And then I'm just going to put some, like I said, those gold foam thicker words from Dear Lizzie from last month. So I'm going to use them on this layout. Now I have some score tape that is 1/8 of an inch, but I couldn't find it. So I use this Express It, and I have to say I don't like it as much as the score tape. It doesn't work as well as far as I'm concerned. Like even today when I did took the pictures, like the ribbon was lifting. So with score tape it wouldn't do that. So I don't love it as much, but I had bought one roll just to try it because it is a little bit cheaper. So, but sometimes if things are cheaper, there's a reason, right? But I mean, I'll just add a little bit of wet glue to it and it'll stay there. So now I'm gluing down those ribbon. At first I kind of fold it over, and eventually I'm just going to peel it off because it peels off anyway. So I'm going to just cut the ends off. And actually I think what I'm going to do is, as soon as I'm done this voiceover, is I'm going to go and add a few staples at each end. Now I'm using some Prima ink that I had in my stash, and I'm just going to put it around that big die cut. And that die cut came from the Crate Paper Kiss Kiss specialty paper, and it was all 3x4 cards. So, and I guess this is where I finish off that roll. It's this layout here maybe that I finish off the roll, and then I kind of I kind of show you what it looks like when you first get it. It's a huge roll. I thought it was the last layout, but it's this layout. Oh, and I have to tell you a funny story. Mason absolutely loves looking at scrapbook pages, whether it's the December daily. He really loves to flip through still now, and he just goes through all the pictures and absolutely love it. But the other day I was finishing off doing the voiceover for the last layout that I just posted, the one before this, the one with me and my son, and it says my baby for like ever. And so anyway, he came in the room and he was like, oh, and Mammy and Joshy. And so anyway, my son comes in, Josh comes in, and so he, starts looking at the layout. And I showed him before and stuff. And he looks at me and goes, Mom, you're getting pretty good at this. And I just thought that was so funny. I was like, gee, thanks, buddy. That, for him to say, Mom, you're getting pretty good at this. I've only been doing it, scrapbooking for, he's 15, so 16 years. So I'm glad I'm starting to get pretty good at this. So I just thought it was hilarious. But apparently that was his way of saying that, he liked the layout. So that was cute. And so I took a lot of the die cuts, to get back to the layout. I took a lot of the die cuts that came from the Heidi Swap collection, and there was a lot of flowers and acetates, and I'm just going to pile it on this layout. And I put a whole bunch to the left of the photo, and then I put a whole bunch to next to that die cut, and I'm just, no rhyme or reason, I'm just putting one on top of the other. And I thought I was going to put some on foam tape, and then I decided against it because I'm going to end up putting one of the chipboard stickers that came in the embellishment add-on, and it's from Crate Paper Kiss Kiss, and it's actually, it was one of the squares that I used on one of the last layouts, and I wanted to put the hearts over top of them. It was the one with my daughter and her friend and her friend's baby, and I had kept one of the little squares, and I knew that I want to use it on another layout, and it says, "You are my sun, my moon, and all of my stars." And I just love that saying. And so I'm going to pop it on the layout here in a few minutes. And then I took some of the Dear Lizzie alphas that came in the kit, and I just spelled out must. And then I used, like I said, those Dear Lizzie thickers and spelled out, I mean, it was already spelled out for me, but shine. And now this is where I'm trying to figure out, okay, what could I use on that sticker or that chipboard sheet? Because that thing is massive. Not complaining, but if you want to be able to, kill it in 1 month, that means that every single layout that you do, you got to pull it out and see what you can use. And that's where I just ended up using that leftover. And I used it on quite a few layouts. I guess only a couple of layouts. I'm going to use it on my next layout, I think, but I'm starting my 7th layout, and there is still tons of stuff to use. So I'm anxious to see how many layouts I'm going to get done. I did pull in, some pattern papers, like I said, from last month's kit, but that's just adding pattern papers. I basically didn't have any embellishments left at all from last month's kit. I think I had like 4 pieces, like literally 4 little pieces. And I'm trying to use them up on this kit with this kit and just get them gone. But so that's always fun, to get those all used up. Okay, and now I'm looking for the template that came in the color add-on, and then the texture paste that came in the color add-on back in October, I believe. And I'm just going to add a little bit of hearts randomly all over the place. And one thing that I did after the camera was turned off was that little red heart that is, there's one little red heart on that whole pattern paper. I just took my glitter pen and colored it in, and it's really sparkly and cute. And now I took my dilution in white and added some splatters to the layout. And now I'm just seeing if I can add anything else. And I'm thinking, I didn't know if I want to add more splatters or not. So I'm kind of, oh, yes. I just got this eye zinc, and it's fairly white, but oops, did you see that? Major yuckies. So I managed to, because it was kind of distressed there, so when I wiped it up, it just looks like it's part of the distress. So I think if I want to use that again, I'm going to use a paintbrush and see if to make splatters and see if that works a little better. But with the dropper, it's just, the drops are too big. So, and that's going to wrap up the 5th layout. So stay tuned for some close-ups of each of the little clusters. And that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. And if you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up just to let YouTube know. Bye.